Hello, can I speak to Mickey?
This is him.
Hi, Mickey. This is Martin O'Brien calling from Toronto with Inside Entertainment Magazine.
Oh, hey, man.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Right on. Thanks a lot for doing this with me.
I just woke up this very second, man.
Oh, sorry. Do you want me to call you back?
Is it cool if you give me just like 20 minutes to have a cup of coffee?
Yeah, for sure. No problem. I'll call you back in 20.
All right, yeah. Sorry, man.
No problem.
Yeah, just, I'm making my coffee right now.
Perfect. I'll call you in 20.
All right, bye.
That's right. Bye.
We just took Texas in the middle of August.
Oh, yeah. You guys went back to Stubbs.
Huh?
You guys were back at Stubbs?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, no, we go where it's like miserably hot and then freezing cold.
You guys get compared to a lot of bands, but I think that's kind of, it's a weird way to talk about a band. But bottom line, who would you say Ween has more in common with? Wilco or Falco?
I actually don't know the music of Wilco at all. Matter of fact, I don't know the music of any band, any new records like made after 1990 or something. Like once Ween got going, I kind of stopped. I kind of like lost my interest in new music. Like if we happen to play with a band and see them, that's about the extent of my input.
I heard the new record, man. It's awesome. It's great.
Great.
I think it's the best one you guys have done since probably the Mollusk. I mean, the other ones were great, but this one's it's outstanding.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy with it. I can't wait for it to come out. I don't always feel that way about our records. It's like sometimes, most of the time, when you're done with a record, you're really sick of hearing it, and this one, I don't know. It was just fun at every step of the process. Like writing it was fun, recording it was fun, and yeah, I feel really good about it. I mean, I don't know what that's worth, but
No. You said that you don't listen to a lot of new music. Does Aaron listen to a lot of music? Like, does he ever, when you guys are recording songs, do you ever reference other artists? Like, do you ever say, like when you're recording Slow Down Boy, was there ever any, like, this sounds kind of like Spandau Ballet or like Bananas and Blow, Harry Belafonte? Do other names of artists ever come up, or do you just kind of go ahead with how you guys hear the song initially?
We talked about the weirdest things when we were recording songs. It's like, it's like, imagine what a dying cat would see. It's more visual. It's like, imagine that, when you do this track, imagine that you're, seeing through the eyes of a dying cat on LSD. It's very weird reference points. I would be lying if I didn't tell you. Anybody would be lying if they didn't tell you that sometimes it's like, you use a reference point, when you're doing a track, but it's not like the main. It's not how things are done. It's not. No.
Cool. I got you. I hear you. You guys worked with the producer of the Crazy Frog ringtone on the Friends EP. You got David Sanborn on the Your Party. Are there any, like, you guys have a lot of fans from far, reaching parts of the music industry, like Henry Rollins and Marilyn Manson have talked with you. Has there ever been like a favorite comment that another artist has made to you? Is there anything outstanding, like a memory of someone encouraging you or saying that they really dug what Ween does?
Yeah, I mean, there's people, yeah, I hope, I'd like to, I have pretty broad, I have pretty big goals, I'd like for Prince to tell me he likes me.
I'm sure he does, man.
Jackson, I'd be impressed by that.
That's awesome. Do you got a favorite Ween song to play live?
It changes a lot. We move songs in and out of the set a lot as we get bored with them. It's usually whatever the newer stuff is, because you haven't played so many times. But no, it's always changing. It changes maybe even from week to week.
there any regrets with Ween? Anything at all? Anything that in your mind?
My only regrets in Ween are not creative. There may be things we could have done differently, just from like a practical or a business point, like along the way. But no, I feel like I can stand behind every single song on every single record. We put a lot of work and a lot of love into our records and playing live, and I think that's what people like about us.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can stand behind everything we've done. It's there's a saying like in golf, like if you're gonna miss big.
Mm-hmm.
Take a big swing again, and if you fuck it up, miss big. And I think that's kind of like the way Ween has been. We haven't let ourselves never pushed out.
Yeah, definitely. So you guys have been on tour for 17 years. Are you going to be on tour in 17 years?
Oh, I hope not. I hope not. The touring part is fun, for that time that you're on stage. But there's 24 hours in a day, you have to spend the other 21 hours of the day waiting or traveling. And it's really boring. More than anything, touring is boring. It's like waiting, just constantly waiting. So, when it comes time to play, it's like, thank God, we finally get to do what we're here for, I don't know how long I can sustain that. I imagine we'll change the way we do it at some point. I plan on being in Ween for forever. I think we always talked about that, even when we were like, 14, it was like, we got to get to the point where we're bald and have beards. Like, we're just totally embarrassing ourselves. We're like 60 years old making lame records about our wives and grandkids, country ranchers. But, the touring part of it is a really different part of, I don't know, it's strange. I really like making records, I really, really enjoy it. And then going out and performing them for a crowd is a whole different experience, and it's more taxing, and it's kind of like being in a fantasy land. Like you go out there and you play, and it's like this big rush, and then it ends, and then you just like, you're back in your hotel room watching, CNN or something. And it's just that way every day and night. Making records is something permanent and lasting, that people can listen to over and over again. And it's like keeping a diary for me. When I think of our albums, I think of them as where we were, at that time. Where our lives were at, what we were thinking when we did them, where we were sitting when we recorded it. If I don't listen to Ween records, but when I hear our songs, that's what I think of. When I think of Baby Bitch, I think of Aaron, and I think of his ex-girlfriend, and I think of where we were living, and I think of the night that we got together and recorded it, and that's something that, I can't, that's my relationship with it. You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think about it in terms of what record it's on and like how it fits into the. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. Is it so? Are you guys going to pull like the Beatles and stop touring and keep making albums, or you haven't even? You'll cross that bridge when you come to it.
We don't have any money. We'll have to go to it. Ween has never, we've never had like one pivotal moment, where that made us like a lot of money. We don't have one record that's like way more successful than another, and I don't mean that that's why we tour. We tour because we enjoy it and we like going out and playing music, but the reality of it is that we have to tour. We're not going to be touring any Beatles or anything.
I wish you guys were kicking back like millionaires, but I'm glad you guys have to keep touring. Okay, last question. You guys get like prime positions at Lollapalooza and Bonnaroo. Are you feeling that, with the burst of the music industry bubble and like bands have to actually be good to be, to be successful and have lots of people come to see them, are you guys getting respect from the music industry now that you might not have got like when you like back in the day or at any point? Is Ween in its best spot now?
I guess so. I mean, but we've done everything incrementally, in such small increments. That we went out when the first record came out and we played to nobody. You could play on a night where there was like 2 people in the bar. And then we came back, and those 2 people were told some other people. Now we had 25 people, and then we'd come back and play to 200, and then we would sell out a bar that held 300 the next time around, and then we get bumped up to a bigger venue.
Mm-hmm.
And we slowly, like very slowly, have gotten it to the point now where, we get to play on the last slot on a festival or whatever. We get to go play sold out nights, at, 3,000, 4,000 seat venues. And I'm proud of that. I'm really proud of that. We have done it, like I said, it's been incremental and our crowd turns over. The fans that we had back then are there now, and they're older, and there's and there's college kids there too, and younger. I take a lot of pride in that, and that's just because of the way we've done things. It's taken us, since the first record came out in 1990. It's taken us 17 years, of touring and making records.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that. I hope it doesn't take another 17 years, but, I hope that we can keep doing it incrementally until we're selling out, stadiums.
Nice. Right on. Hey, Mickey, thank you so much for making the time for me. I know you don't like to do a lot of these things, but I really appreciate it.
All right, man.
Say hey to Aaron.
I will.
Talk to you later, man.
Bye.
Bye-bye.